of the Pharaohs. Egypt will be at home tomorrow against Sierra Leone in Cairo for their match day 6 fixture. Well, it doesn't appear there are any changes to report at half-time. We're back underway in Bissau. Burkina Faso level with Guinea-Bissau. It's 1 apiece with a coffee. The long ball upfield saw plenty of that, particularly from the host in the first half. And in fairness, it brought about the equaliser. Long ball forward from defence. Superbly brought down by Zidane Panchaki. And then a smart finish as well from the midfielder. Plays in the Portuguese second tier with Ferenc Panchaki, formerly of Benfica. Nkada just drops in between Nagalo and his teammates. Eventually it's Nagalo who hooks it forwards. Fatty. This time asking questions of Jigu. Making his second start in the World Cup qualifiers, Nasser Jiga. It's Jefferson Nkada who's player down here for Guinea-Bissau. Oh, Edmund Tapsoba, the Bayer Leverkusen defender. Out with a thigh injury for Burkina Faso. And Issoufou Dyer also missing today due to a suspension. Chiga came on against Djibouti the other day to concede a late penalty as Djibouti snatched the consolation in that 4-1 defeat. It's being taken off here on a stretcher. It's a particularly encouraging sign. Hopefully Jefferson Nkada will be all right, but let's see what Morte is going to do. He's going to turn it to Jorginho, who started the game the other day in at Monrovia. Dropped to the bench this afternoon, but we'll get a chance early in the second half. Rather clumsy challenge by Manjaki on Sadio Sempore. And confirmation of that change with Okada unfortunately unable to continue. So on comes Jorginho in his place. Now players in Cyprus after moving from Georgia in January. Former Manchester City youngster. And an ex-Portugal youth international as well. This is Issa Kabore. Marcina Troy back to Kabore. Fino doing well. Deep cross towards Ouattara. Nice control from Dango Ouattara. Works between two defenders, and Tindra Payoko trying to find enough space for his shots, and is eventually fired towards goal, but is blocked before it gets there. And the flag goes up against Lassina Traore in the end. Well, they did make all 5 of their changes at once the other day, Burkina Faso. But it's a much closer game, so I don't expect to see the same tactics employed by Brahma Traore. Balde. It's going to be a free kick for Guinea-Bissau. Towards Mane. Mane into the area, and the header has stayed in play. It's put in again. But this time the flank goes up on the near side. Guinea-Bissau did have one fewer day to recover, as they played on, I should say, one extra day to recover, as they played on the Thursday, whereas Burkina Faso played Friday. I wonder if that will be a factor as this game wears on, and referee reaching into his pockets for the second time this afternoon. Steve Iago is the player booked. Just touching on that point, one few days at rest for Burkina Faso. The coach said that physically there are no issues with the team, so he attempted to play it down in his pre-match press conference. And you've always got to be ready in football. Ouattara. Clever flick. Kabore get there first, but then sort of overran it, and then he ended up committing the foul on Babacar Fati. And, he was booked in that first half. Kabore went down with an injury and then called back onto the pitch. Getting himself booking. And the trainers are heading out there again, this time to check on Fati. He was withdrawn at half-time on his debut against Sierra Leone after giving away the opening goal with an underhit back pass. Far more assured display from him this afternoon, which is nice to see. Well, they know that a win today is imperative. Guinea-Bissau supporters seen their team go 4 games without defeats, but the loss against Sierra Leone really setting them back, and Fati is certainly not moving too freely. I've just rolled that left ankle. The kick, not the best from Manuel Balde. Nagalo. Tendra Beogo finds Kabore. This is Zagrana with Kabore, Bande, Fino. Why is it into touch? It's the linesman, in fact. Now in comes the cross from Kabore. Very nearly chopped for Traore. Tendra Beogo just got into the area. Bikel is sent sprawling by Sampore. Well, match day 7 in September is a reversal of the match day 5 fixtures. Guinea-Bissau getting ready to make another change here with Gilberto Batista about to come on. So the next qualifier for Guinea-Bissau will be here against Sierra Leone. Burkina Faso will take on Djibouti. Babacar Fati is forced off after that challenge, unfortunately, by Kabore. The Portugal-based player, Gilberto Batista, replaces him. Former Portugal under-20 international. On for his debut. Batista. Just 21 years of age. Typically a central defender, but has come on for the stricken Fati at left back. Play brought back for the foul. Well, that should be a drop ball, I think. Free looking over towards the sideline as Burkina Faso are going to make a couple of substitutions. Bertrand Traoré will come on, along with Blati Touré. Hassan Bandé and Mohamed Tigrana, the two players are replaced for the visitors. Bertrand Traoré scored the equaliser when these teams met on match day 1, all the way back in November of 2023. He's also in target at the 2017 AFCON when these sides had squared off in the group stage, so hoping to make it 3 goals in as many games against today's opponents. As Burkina Faso look for the winner in this final half hour. Blati Touré based in Egypt with Pyramids FC, who are currently top of the table, above Al Ahly. Mane, down over his shoulder, will have to settle for a throw. Quarter-finals of the CAF Champions League. Played no part against Djibouti the other day, Touré, but had featured in the first 4 World Cup qualifiers. Referee wants to stop play here. The player down, it's as a Turbo. Traoré giving chase, catching the heels of his opponent, Jorginho. So Batista wants to be over at right back now. Jorginho on the left. There's Batista, and this is Jorginho. Batista. Sampigna. Nice ball through the middle. Semedo. Mane. Uses the overlap as a decoy, and it's hung into the area and just got caught underneath that Hervé Kofi. Making a hand to it, but not overly convincing from the Burkina Faso captain and goalkeeper. And it's going to be a free kick here as Banjaki was caught just outside the area. There's 2 players down for Guinea-Bissau, and it's going to be yellow cards for Salu Sampore. Third booking of the afternoon for the visitors. It's a Turbo who is down once more. The halfway line. Stems from that misjudgment by Coffey. Wanted to have it under control, but just got caught underneath it. Came a little too far. Guinea-Bissau recycle possession. And the foul on Bajaki has led to a free kick here in a really dangerous position. Some purpose. Mane who hits it. Sails over the top. Wasn't stationary, so Coffey ordered to retake the goal kick. Chiga. Coffey. Margalo. Closed down by Turbo. Once of Inter Milan, Turbo never made a first team appearance though for the Nerazzurri. Also had a stint in Argentina with Newell's Old Boys where Lionel Messi once played. Plays the advantage, and Turbo catches his man, and he's going to be booked this time. First yellow card of the match for Guinea-Bissau. Did score at the last AFCON, Turbo, in a defeat by Equatorial Guinea. A player who is mostly used as a substitute, but to get the start this afternoon. Treading on the foot of Lassina Traore there. There should be quite a bit of time added on when we get there at the end of this 90 minutes. Torre's going to take this free kick. Just knocked it short to Kabore. Now Torre again. Iago. Matara to play it first time. It's a tricky one for the keeper, but I think it had gone out to play and come back in. The keeper will have been relieved to hear the referee's whistle. Fino. Sampore. Now Kapore. Toure. Looking for Ouattara once more, and it's over the head of Batista. The throw in for Burkina Faso. Come quickly by Ouattara, who's picked out again by Toure, and it'll be a corner here for the away side. As we head into the last 20 minutes of normal time. Has to be struggling with a touch of cramp, Janio Bikel. Traore, the outswinging delivery. There's away at the second time of asking. This is Tenji Bayogo, who is caught. It's going to be another free kick, and just a word of warning for Alpha Semedo. Has scored on all three of his appearances in World Cup qualifying. Bertrand Traoré. Missed match days at 3 and 4, but was on target against Djibouti last time out. There's Ouattara. It's surely a foul. It is going to be a free kick. Traore going over once more. As Toure gives way. Also scored in the 3-0 win over Ethiopia on match day 2. Bertrand Traoré. Said Blati Toure that day. That's the 2-1 defeat by Egypt on match day 3, and as well as the 2-2 draw against Sierra Leone. Deep ball towards the far post, and it is headed in by Lassina Traoré. His second of the afternoon, and it's one that puts Burkina Faso back into the lead here. It was a deep delivery towards the far post from Bertrand Traoré. A downward header made it awkward for the Guinea-Bissau defence, and Lassina Traoré was first to react, holding up the number 2. As second of this game, a 5th of the qualifying campaign. And that'll be a really disappointing goal to concede. As far as Luis Boamorte is concerned, as Nagalo headed it down back across the face of goal, and it was all too easy for Lassina Traoré. He's going to use his final 3 committed changes here all at once. Boamorte. Temple Montero came off the bench to pull one back against Sierra Leone. So as a Turbo is replaced. Sorry, Mane. Comes on as well, as does Jardel. Sorry, Mane and Jardel were starters in Monrovia last week. Coming on here after seeing their team fall behind for the second time today. Trying to salvage their World Cup campaign. Back-to-back defeats would really leave them a long way off the pace. Could be as many as 10 points adrift of Egypt by tomorrow night if they lose here today. Traore. Victor Rufino also going off. And Jorginho has drawn blood, so he's going to have that patched up. Not what the coach would have wanted to see. Having just used up his 3 substitutions. This could be a precious 3 points for Burkina Faso. Even if they are unable to top Egypt in this section, the more points they pick up over the remaining qualifiers, the better the chance they will have of being one of the 4 best placed runners-up that advance to the mini tournaments, which will determine Africa's representative in the Inter-Confederation playoffs. It's wisely chested back to Coffee by Giga. One throw upfield from Coffee, but it's headed straight back in the other direction by Rufino. Sanjabeogo. This is Traore. Now Toure. Sampore. Magalo. Matara just to thread it through to Traore. Unable to reel it in. Traore could have been a third and a hat-trick if he'd managed to do so. As Burkina Faso are going to make 2 more substitutions. Mohamed Kanate and Cedric Badolo set to come on. So that is Sina Traore, whose number is up on the boards. And Sanjabeogo is heading off as well. Will his 2 goals be enough for Burkina Faso this afternoon? Up to 5 now. Overall, Sina Traore. Margalo. Not that well. Just to thread it through to Ouattara. Ouattara. Now was he brought down? Referee just points for a goal kick, but there definitely looked to be some contact there. Challenge from Sampigna, and Dango Ouattara is down in a pile here off the pitch. Let's have another look at it. There was no question that there was a contact made. Whether it was inside the area or not was difficult to tell precisely. Let's suspect Burkina Faso will feel at the very least they should have had some sort of foul whistled there in their favour. Mane pinching it back, but the last touch came off him, although I'm not too sure he feels the same. Iago is headed backwards. The Guinea-Bissau man. This is Semedo. Just behind Beto. Not seen a great deal of Beto this afternoon, particularly in the second half. It's up a chance for Banchaki in the first. On by Bertrand Traoré. It's nodded back to Balde by Sampigna. Fino. Sorry, Mane. Batista. It's a poor ball forwards. Margalo. Traoré. Traoré. Traoré just to scoop it forwards, and both players hitting the deck, but it's been held on to Caporet. That's good goalkeeping by Balde to deny Burkina Faso a third. He's hurt himself in the process. He was brave there. Balde threw himself at the feet of, I think it was Mohamed Konate. Man on in place of Sina Traoré. Into the perfect area. Caporet. It's Balde. He's put himself well because Konate did get something on it. Couldn't find a way past Guinea-Bissau stopper though. Well, doesn't have much alternative, but soldier on here and keep going. One change still available for Burkina Faso. Fino. Jardel. Adolo penalised there. Recently moved to Slovakia. He plays with Spartak Trnava. Vasilij Podolo. Interesting with Sheriff Tiraspol. Second spell, in fact, in Slovakia. Sambinia. Can they see things out here? Burkina Faso. Ouattara looking for a third to put the game beyond reach for Guinea-Bissau. Cabora with a shot, and it's comfortably over. Fino. Mane. Batista. Going to catch up with that. Hand up by way of an apology from Alpha Semedo. Morte not happy with the time being taken by Iago over the throat. This is something I'll have to watch, as he was one of the players booked earlier on at Steve Iago. Ouattara poked it through the legs of Batista. Ouattara looks to pull it back, and eventually it's Mane who it's on the end of it. Fino. Gino. Pass is not the best. Again from Mane. That right hand bandaged up, Jorginho. Offside, the decision. Kanate just straying offside as he was coming back towards that ball. Fino tucked away from him for Ouattara again. This is Dango Ouattara trying to find a third for Burkina Faso, but he's well marshalled by Sambinia. Mane. Semedo, back to Mane. Fino. Sambinia. It's going to advance their cause. Cabora. Montano looks to put towards Troy. And, shaping to shoot was Troy. This is Cabora. Torre. Nagalo. There's brave there, Sempore, and it's a gamble that's paid off. Traore spinning back onto his favoured left foot. Now the back heel. The cross is deflected behind for a corner. 90 minutes, they're nearly up. That was from Bertrand Traoré's free kick that Burkina Faso re-established their lead. Driven in low towards the front post and hacked behind for another corner. 5 minutes still to go here in Bissau. Plenty of time for Guinea-Bissau to perhaps find an equaliser. Burkina Faso attempting to shut the door here and seal the 3 points. And the volley from Touré, well off the mark. Touré. Side to Badolo. Such a side over to the right. This is Bertrand Traoré. Not quite sure what he was trying to do there. One idea perhaps, but his well, he ended up doing something else. This is Tambero. Coffee. Finds Kabore. Touré. Kabore. Traoré. One being made by Kanate. Pulls it back and he finds Rufino. Mane. Chardel. This is Semedo with a strike. Defence doing its job for the visitors. Here comes Traoré. Ouattara making a run through the middle. Knocked out towards Kanate. Now this is Ouattara. Another cheaply giving the ball back to Guinea-Bissau and foul by Touré. Well, they conceded 2 points after blowing a 2-goal lead against Sierra Leone in June of last year. Burkina Faso, can they make it back-to-back wins on match days at 5 and 6 to get themselves back into the thick of it in Group A? Well, Poles are within at 2 points of Egypt if they can close things out here. Quick turnaround after the win over Djibouti up in Morocco on Friday. But Lassina Traoré stands to be the match winner with both goals for the visitors this afternoon in Bissau. As we head into the final minutes, the 5 added on, that will presumably be extended. There's Hervé Coffee receives a bit of medical attention stretching out his left leg. Launch forwards. It's missed by Kapore. Pulled back here for Sorimane. And the header is wide. That was a glorious chance for Sampigna right at the death to snatch an equaliser for Guinea-Bissau. Brilliant fighting cross, just clipped in by Sorimane. Sampigna flung himself at it. Couldn't hit the target though. Is that the last chance they'll get? Real relief for Burkina Faso. Not over the line just yet. This is Tambo Montero. Mane. And the flying take by Hervé Coffey. Excellent goalkeeping there. Looks spectacular, but does just ease the pressure on his defence. Just belt it forwards. As we head into a 7th minute of additional time here. Matara winning it back and winning an important free kick as well. That's going to be a yellow card. Now for Semedo. Couldn't quite latch onto it. Ended up conceding the free kick and booked for his troubles as well. That is the final whistle in Bissau. It's a hugely important 3 points for Burkina Faso. They led early through Lassina Traore, were pegged back before half-time as Zidane Panjaki equalised, but another goal in the second half from Lassina Traore, his 5th of this qualifying campaign. Earns them all 3 points today in Guinea-Bissau. The final score here, Guinea-Bissau 1, Burkina Faso 2. Burkina Faso climbing to within 2 points of the Group A leaders Egypt. Egypt at home to Sierra Leone in Cairo tomorrow. And they will have the opportunity to restore their 5 points cushion. Guinea-Bissau, well, their World Cup dreams were probably remote, in fairness, coming in to today's game. And they are even slimmer now after a second defeat in as many outings. Beaten through their first 4 qualifiers. But they have come unstuck over the past few days, losing against Sierra Leone and again at home here today against Burkina Faso. They are 7 points behind Egypt, 5 adrift of Burkina Faso, with Sierra Leone in 3rd, a couple of points better off as well. So they got the job done in the end.